Damn, you come from a line of criminals? I really enjoyed you on the Jesse Michaels podcast, so I had to have you on.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, man.
I love it when young people know so much about ancient history. Like, how did you get started in this?
Well, it's quite literally in my blood. Back in the I should say the 1890s, my family, they were cattle rustlers right here in the hill country, actually maybe a little bit further, or quite a bit further west of San Antonio.
Damn, you come from a line of criminals?
Probably, yeah. There's a lot of dark history in here, so they're cattle rustlers that are out in Dryden, Texas, and Sanderson, Texas, and I mean right on the Rio Grande. And they were that's how they made their money. They were fascinated, kind of like everybody, with finding gold, with finding lost Spanish treasure, and Native American artifacts. So they're living in this area called the Reagan Canyon, and I've seen it all over the place. If you look on, I think like the Smithsonian did something on the top 10 forgotten places in the United States. It's like the most remote areas of our country, and somewhere in there is Reagan Canyon. And so out there, they developed this fascination for looking for lost Spanish gold. And, there were bandits that would hide up in the hills, and they would sack Spanish caravans and drag the gold up into the hills to not get caught, to hopefully come back for it later. And the Spanish are out there mining for gold and everything. So my family gets caught up in one of the biggest mysteries of Texas history. Like if you were to go to some bookstore, there's a popular one called The Sons of Coronado, and it's like this legacy of people looking for Spanish gold. Somewhere in there, my family will be in there. And so this started in the 1890s, and it's this long saga of the treasure being dragged to San Antonio, and all these people get killed, and only one of these four Reagan brothers makes it out. He gets involved in oil drilling out in East Texas, and then so my family moved out to East Texas, and then his son was born, which is my grandfather, and then he continues this legacy of continuing his father's oil company, but then he also begins gold mining in New Mexico. And while he's out in New Mexico, he hears these legends of these 7 lost Spanish gold mines. And because there was a local police officer who was like a treasure hunter, and he knew who my grandfather was and the story behind our family. He sought him out, and they went off looking together. And I don't know how long it took them to find it, but he found the 7 lost Spanish gold mines of New Mexico. And he opened up this company called Three Bells Mining and Milling Company.